welcome back everybody. It is Lee from Lee and Kim's Compound. What we're going to do today is something a little bit different. It involves my tractor and pretty much every other brand that's out there, especially in this size category, which is 35 horsepower. Since the beginning, since it was new, it's called floppy bucket syndrome, and it's something that I don't see a lot of research on. I've done it ever since the tractor was new. There's not a lot out there on it. I've called the dealership, and there's seems to be no resolution for this. So what we're going to do is I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. It's not really an issue. It's more of an irritant than anything else. Sometimes it can be dangerous, especially when I have the grapple put on the front and I'm moving trees around, because I move quite a few trees at a time. Grapple is a lot heavier than the bucket itself. So when I got a load of trees on there, before I go any further, let me explain to you what a floppy bucket is. A lot of people really don't know, but it happens across the spectrum of tractors. Don't matter what color it is. It could be blue, it could be the other red, it could be green. It has the same issue. It seems to be no resolution for it, no way to fix it. It's just something that you have to live with, and all you do is you put a band-aid on it. That's it. I wish they would come up with a way to fix it, because again, it's an irritant, and it's just sometimes to me it's a safety factor. But let me show you. Let me grab you, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. What I'll do is I'll give you a view here. What I want you to do, let me get you a little bit closer right here. Where the issue is right here in this cylinder. Now you see I got some cylinder exposed. Now I have been greasing all my fittings. I do keep them well greased, but there's still a little bit of slop in them, but they're not at the point where they got to be replaced yet. But when I move this bucket, you'll see what I'm talking about. Now the tractor's off. Can you see it? Now it's only a little bit of movement here, but when you magnify it in the front, what I want you to see is really how much movement. Again, it's not much movement here, but if you watch the bucket, it's magnified. Now when I have the grapple on here, it's magnified even more, because grapple is a lot heavier than the bucket, stands taller, so that pushes the leverage out a little bit higher from the pivot point down there. I have to be really careful. As you've seen before on our other videos, the grapple, the jaws open up, which brings that center of gravity up even lower compared to the grapple up here. But to me, that's pretty unacceptable. Where I run into the issue with this, especially with the bucket, is when I level the land out, fill in any holes, and once I get done either using a box blade or with the rake, it leaves humps and grooves. What I like to do is back drag, and that's simply putting the bucket down, keep it as level as I can to the ground with just a little back lift on it, so the back of the bucket doesn't scrape the ground, just pretty much this, and it gets rid of all them humps and grooves and stuff like that. It works really well. Problem is, when I let the bucket down, I can't be accurate. I have let me show you here. I have a bucket indicator that I watch, which is right here. Let me switch it to the other side here. Now right here is the bucket indicator. That tells me the angle of the bucket, because sitting in the operator's station, you can't see that. You don't see what the angle is of the bucket. You can peek over the edge, but it's really hard to see. This is a great feature that they put on these now. So that tells me that when this notch is setting in here, I got it set up, that tells me the bucket is perfectly flat to the ground. And that's why I'd like to keep it when I back drag, maybe just a little bit higher so the back end is up a little bit, so it doesn't scrape. The back of the bucket doesn't scrape, because again, back dragging is just that, what you're doing is you're doing it in reverse. You're backing up the tractor and actually dragging the bucket. So what I like to do is I keep this elevated. I'll keep this elevated here, and I'll let it drag for probably about that much of the bucket, and that leaves a nice flat spot. But when you have a floppy bucket, that doesn't happen, because as soon as I put the bucket down, now what I'll do is I'll show you what it looks like. I'm just going to lower the bucket. Now that right there would probably be my normal angle when I want to back drag. Or back scrape, I'm sorry, back drag, back scrape. And I'll show you what happens when I let the bucket down to the ground. Keep a close eye on this cylinder right here and notice the angle of the bucket. You'll see what I'm talking about. It might be easier to see when you watch the linkage here, but watch that. That right there. Now you saw the angle of the bucket when I had it up in the air where it was locked in place. See how much that cylinder moved? That's a lot of movement. You can see the front of the bucket is actually picked up on it. You'll see here. So that doesn't help me when I'm scraping, because now back of the bucket is dragging, which is what I don't want. That just leaves even more ruts because it scrapes on everything else. It's something that a lot of people don't talk about, and a lot of people, I'm sure, are afflicted with this, but if you know what I mean, they just don't talk about it. What I'm going to do is cover it today, because when it first happened to me, the tractor was brand new. It's almost 3 years old now. It was brand new when we got it, and this was started right after I got it. I called the dealership and asked them to take a look at it. Here I'm thinking that we're going to have something wrong with the cylinders, or there's something wrong with a control valve or something. My knowledge of hydraulics is minimal. What I know about it is what I need to operate the tractor and all the functions on the tractor. That's my limit to hydraulics. I don't have any system leaks. I have nothing like that. Cylinders do not leak. Everything is fine. I keep it well greased, well maintained, other than it being dirty. Because it's been so dry, I have no choice but to keep it dirty. And I noticed that I was having a lot of movement in the bucket. I was very, very uneasy and unsteady with that, because it didn't make me feel like I have full control of the tractor, the bucket part. And that's not a good feeling to have. So again, I called the dealership, and they said there's really nothing they can do about it. Of course, I wasn't going to take their word for it. Come to find out, it is a common problem, which nobody seems to want to take care of, want to fix, or find a resolution for it. I don't know if any new tractors on the market do it now. So it's something they pretty much told me it's something you're going to have to live with and deal with, which was very unsettling to me. That didn't seem right. For the amount of money you pay for one of these tractors, it should work flawlessly. And other than that, that's the only issue I got with it, is the wimpy bucket or floppy bucket, whichever you prefer. But there's no pill that's going to fix it, no cream, no lotion, no nothing. It's something you got to live with. Where you can sort of fix it, it's sort of put a band-aid on it, and it makes it where you can stop it temporarily. But it's something that you have to do all the time. And that is where it means I got to raise the bucket, get the cylinder higher than the tractor, which will allow, when the bucket's in the air, of course, the cylinder is tipped backwards, and that forces the air out of it. And then you do that for a couple times, and it comes back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I mean by that. And it seems to work. All right, so I'll show you how I can fix that problem on a temporary basis. But it works. It gets me through the day, through whatever I got to do with the tractor. It allows me to get through that. But it happens all the time. So I'm just going to leave it there, start up the tractor, and I'll go through the cycle. I probably won't talk during it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to raise the bucket up in the air, or raise the boom all the way up in the air. And then I'm going to take the bucket, and I'm going to cycle it. I'm going to dump it, and then I'm going to curl it. I'm going to dump it, Then I'm going to curl it. And what that does, it moves this cylinder and it forces the air out of the cylinder because that's the problem. It gets air in it. That's all you're doing is you're burping it pretty much, basically. What that'll do, I'll do it about 3 times. What that'll do is work that air out of that system. Then when I bring it down, you'll see how much better that the bucket operates and where the way it's supposed to be. I'll do it from down here so you can see it better. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise the RPMs up to about 1800 to 2000. 2000. 3 times. I got the bucket tipped a little bit, so I'm sitting on the front edge, and you'll see no movement. It will at the front of the tractor up. I just got the RPMs low. No movement. Okay, well, as you can see, the bucket is solid. What it did is it worked all the air out of the system with this hose being back here. I guess that's where the air would be introduced from that line. But since we did that, it all worked the air out. Now the bucket's back to being the way it should be. Again, that movement's just in the pins and stuff like that. But that's it. That's what you got to do to fix it. Well, I hope this helps somebody out. I was glad that I found it online, so hopefully somebody can get use out of this. So the idea is just raise your bucket, curl and dump, curl and dump, curl and dump. Work the air out of the system, then you can go back to using it as normal. It'll come back. Believe me, it'll come back, and it depends on how much you raise and lower the bucket and use the boom. It'll be back real quick. But you know the solution. It doesn't stop anything. I just have to do it with an empty bucket, obviously, because you got to completely dump it. But I do it with the bucket on. I don't like doing it with the grapple on because it's just too much. It's too much weight to be swinging around. So hopefully that'll help you. It'll answer some questions. If anybody knows how to fix this, I would really love to hear it. I would really love to permanently fix this issue. It's a thorn in my side, and I'm sure it's a thorn in a lot of people's sides. Not exclusive to this tractor. It's all the way across the board. So if you have any solutions or ideas on how I can fix it, is there a breather or is there something I can put in line on both of the cylinders to help me with that? I would appreciate it if you could just tell me. Leave it in the comments. Let me know. And I would be very grateful if you can help me with this solution because it's not only helping me, but helping a lot of people too with this problem. So, hope you enjoyed the floppy bucket or wimpy bucket, whichever you like to call it. And we appreciate you stopping by. We appreciate you watching. And we just want to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed and watched and liked our videos. We really appreciate it. We got many more to come. And we hope you'll swing by again. Just remember, be kind to everybody. You don't know what they're going through. Okay? Thank you very much. Have a great day.